Hi, and welcome to the Gratitude Incarnate podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Rose, and this is our special guest host, Amber. I'm going to let her do most of the talking today. She's great. She knows what she's talking about. So
we'll see.
There you go.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I'm really excited to share some gratitude with you guys. So what I came up with to kind of call this little spiel that I'll share with you guys is how to be grateful for PMS. And so I thought that would be a great way to kind of talk to you guys because I am a period coach or a menstrual cycle coach. And so I love to utilize and help clients utilize their menstrual cycle to optimize their life, alchemize all kinds of things, and just, be able to stay in your body and live a life that's true to you. So how to be grateful for PMS, right?
I know that may feel like a struggle sometimes, how to be grateful for PMS. Like, that's not what we're really taught in society is like, PMS, like, oh, stay away. Jokes on television about men marking women's cycles so that they can stay away from them.
Right.
When they're PMSing.
All this hoopla. Yeah. Like, because it is that culture and that society, like we weren't taught how to embrace it and utilize it. And so it's like this taboo, like why is this happening? Because it's happening. So there must be some reason, right? So it's like taking a closer look to why these symptoms might be coming up or not, maybe, depending on your circumstances. And so, but for many of us, especially in our society and tradition and culture, it can be interesting to think about being grateful for that. So I wanted to share with you guys about one season of the menstrual cycle. And so there's so much to this, but I'm trying to get this, in a way that's easily digestible for as many people as possible. And this work is, it can seem exclusive. So trying to be inclusive as possible, like whether you're a menstruator or not, this is just the way that I like to look at things. So generally there's these 4 seasons inside our body, 4 phases to the entire menstrual cycle. And so we're talking about PMS, which would be the premenstruum. So PMS is premenstrual syndrome. For most of us, that's what we know. And so it's before menses, before you bleed, if you're a menstruator. And so this point of our cycle, when you're thinking about it hormonally, is when your hormones have kind of dipped away. You're generally going to be a little bit more tired. Your body is getting ready to do a big job of shedding the lining of the uterus. And so you're generally going to be more tired. And in our society, sometimes you're not allowed to be tired. So when you're taking advantage of it, you can kind of see it from a different lens. So in this phase called autumn phase in your body or premenstrual, and another pro little tip is if you're tracking the lunar cycles, if that works for you, this would be right before the new moon. So you should be feeling a little bit tired. You are probably getting more achy in your body because your body's focused on using that energy for something else. You are able to slow down, which is something that most of us need. And if we're not slowing down, obviously our body can kind of suffer from that. So this is why we can be grateful, because our bodies are giving us information and we're allowed to utilize that or overlook it. And so no matter what your experience is, it's about viewing it through the lens of what is my body telling me? What is this message? And then, whether you're just giving gratitude towards yourself for listening to your body, or maybe you're already giving gratitude to your body for talking to you, because there's so much magic in this. If you can find the gratefulness for your experience, no matter what that is, right now we're talking about PMS, premenstruum. If we can be grateful in that experience, we can learn from it and grow gratitude in our entire cycle, which we will get to in part 2. And so what about you, Amanda? Do you think that there's something that you could say you're grateful for about PMS?
Yeah, so I'm really grateful for the progress I've made in my personal development journey in having boundaries because now I give myself, so for the first day of my period, I do my very best to honor myself by taking the first day off. Like, no matter what's going on, there are some things that I will do. I have some responsibilities, like, I have the son,
You have to do your best, right?
But yeah, I do my best to take that day off of work. Usually I take a rest day from workouts. I may do some stretching, maybe some yoga, but, no really hard, strenuous workouts. And, I am really grateful, that I've learned to honor my body in that way.
That is so awesome. I think that's what it's all about, just being grateful for the experience, like we said. And PMS is just part of our experience. Many of us identify with having terrible periods or whatever it might be, really bad PMS. You probably beat yourself up about it. You've probably been beat up about it. But we can alchemize that into something that can help us learn more. And so I am really excited to dive deeper into part 2, because we're going to go through each phase of the cycle. We did a little snippet of premenstruum, aka autumn phase in your body, but there's 3 more seasons, and we'll probably go a little bit deeper into this phase too, a little bit more maybe about PMS. And so if you're interested, we'd love for you to check in there. And in the meantime, if anybody wants to connect with me, Amanda's asked me to give you guys my information. I'm so grateful for that, and to be here. So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is cycle_wisdom_coach. And from there you can get to like my landing page. It's a very simple website that's linked to that. And you can also email me at cyclewisdomcoach@gmail.com. So I'll definitely answer that.
Yes. And she's going to write this down for me so I can put it in the show notes. I'm going to make sure that I do that. So you don't have to worry about writing this down right now. You can just click on the link in the show notes. You can write it down if you want. That'll help you remember it.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. So I think that's a really great idea, guys, to just be mindful of how you can shift the narrative and focus on gratitude. That's what this whole podcast is about. It's about embodying gratitude in every moment. And a lot of us have been taught to believe that this is a bad time, and that your body is going through something rough and hard, and it can really be a beautiful experience. And you can use gratitude affirmations, kind of like the ones that we've shared with you in this podcast, to make that a more enjoyable and beautiful experience for yourself. And we're going to talk about this more. Well, actually, Amber is going to do the majority of the talking. It's great when you can show up to work and somebody else kind of does your job for you.
Right. But we'll have some good conversations too. Yeah. There'll be some back and forth.
You're going to love it. So if you want to hear part 2, you're going to need to subscribe to the podcast. The link is in the notes for the page, Gratitude Incarnate page. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you, Amber, so much for being here with us. This is our first video podcast.
So grateful.
I am really grateful. I'm grateful that you're here to share this with us. That's going to be it. Have a grateful day. Tell everybody to have a grateful day, Amber.
Have a grateful day.